This video is brought to you by these YouTube members. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. Hello everyone, welcome back to another utility guide. This is the third and final part of year 2 for the utility guides. We've got 21 characters here. No, 22 characters, I'm sorry. And let's go and get started. If you haven't seen one of these, it's basically I take the characters and put them under one or more of these categories. That's pretty much all it is. But let's go ahead and get started. So we're starting with Kai and Shiba. I absolutely love the character Kai and Shiba. Unfortunately, this one's not that good. He's got a decent normal attack stat and a decent SP stat, but no real good multipliers. He does have a decent link of strong attack damage of 25% and 80% last ditch survival, so we're just going to put him under links. He's not really good for anything else. Even his link, you know, there's better characters with last ditch survival in the second better link, but it's not terrible, and it is boosted, so we're going to leave it there. Next up we have Love over here, the past version of Love, Captain Love. Burn on some of his attacks. He's got a vortex move that surrounds him, but honestly, it's not enough. It's not enough. He does have a normal attack damage link of 16% and an attack up by 100 points, but it's just not good. Honestly, he's really only good for orbs. Once you max him out, you'll probably never touch him again. Next up, we have Rose. Now, Rose and these three actually came out on the same banner at the same time. Rose actually got the better build, even though he does have a Captain Killer, which is very unfortunate. He does have Frenzy, Berserker at 20%, decent range on his strong attacks. All three are shave shots, which is interesting, but they all hit a really high number of times. Some of them, strong attack 2, has a chance to inflict paralysis, and it can hit harder than the other two. It's honestly not the best character. He does have decent range, but his range could be better, but he's definitely better than these two, and in a pinch you can use him for PvE, though again, he does have a Captain Killer, so it might be a bit slower than everybody else, but still, decent attacks. Also, he has one of the best links in the entire game, so we're also going to make a copy of him and put him into links. One of the best links in the entire game, strong attack damage and strong attack recharge, except his strong attack recharge is boosted to 14, making him extra effective. So yeah, we're going to put him under links. Next up we have Zhao. Zhao actually has decent range on his strong attacks, did get stuck with a static vortex move for being a decently SP'd with frenzied character. Still, you can use him in PvE in a bind. He is a better link than anything else, though. He has a boosted damage reduction link of 20%, and he's got a normal attack damage link of 16%, even though his biggest strength is strong attack damage. They clearly only wanted to give him normal attack damage link because they wanted him to be a link for PvP characters, and that's exactly what he is. He's just a link for PvP characters, and he can be used in PvE, though again, slower than the rest. Yami over here is not that good, though he does have a useful link. Strong Tech Recharge and Last Ditch Survival can come in handy when you know, trying to auto with a Strong Tech Recharging character. He has Bombardment. He had the very first charge move and Poise, but it's, you know, the character itself is not good, only for a link. Next up we have Noitaro. This Noitaro was really good at PvP for the longest time. Obviously he does not excel at it anymore, but still, with a high enough attack, Captain Killer, Actual Bruiser, and Flurry, you can actually use him for PvP still to a point. Put him right here. I wouldn't say he's the... Actually, we're going to put him over here. You can actually use him for a pretty good amount for PvP until you start dealing with like the meta stuff. Then you're going to have a problem. But before that, he's pretty good. Like I said, high attack, normal attack damage link of 20%, Bruiser at 20%, Flurry, weakened defense on his special, has the Last Ditch Survival as a secondary link, and a Vortex move for his strong attack 2, which is really good for autoing, so we're also going to be putting him in autoing. Again, with that Captain Killer, it is going to make him a bit slower, but, you know, he's still able to auto just fine, plus he's got an 80% chance to come back if he were to go down. So we're going to put him in links too, because he's a very good link. He's also pretty good against bosses. Because of that Vortex move and because of that Killer, you can actually take down captains very easily, and you can trap them in a Vortex before they use their special. And, you know, you have enough time to get away. Plus, the weakened defense definitely helps you take out a boss if you use your special, because your special doesn't do that much damage, but that one does. I'm also going to put him under support and crowd control, because that strong attack 2 is actually pretty good for crowd control. Though that one's going to be a little bit on the lesser side, because it's really only one strong attack that's good for that, and it's not like it does that much damage. It's literally just meant for crowd control. Overall, though, Noitaro's winning this list in 5 different places. It's pretty good. Okay, now we have Konami. They recently remade this Konami, but the original one is not good. He has Bombardment, has a decent attack, but because he has Bombardment, he was kind of doomed to fail. He does have interesting links, though. He was the last character ever to get a dodge rate as a link. He has dodge rate of 11%. And his secondary link is damage reduction. So if you wanted to make some crazy build for PvP characters, he would be among them, because you can both decrease damage and increase the chance of dodging enemies' attacks. So we're going to put him in links only, but even then, it's kind of an iffy link. So I'm going to put him down here. Kind of an iffy link, but still very unique. Okay, next up we have Aronniero. Aronniero is a very, very fun character. He's got a really high, oh, not really high, but just decently high SP. Frenzy, great range on strong attacks, very fun strong attacks. They can all inflict poison, though it's not debilitating. He's a pretty good PvE character. It'll take you a little bit because they're all shape shots, or two of them are shape shots. But he's a pretty good PvE character. He can definitely get the job done. Like I said, he inflicts poison on everything. It may not be debilitating, but it is very likely, so I am going to put him under versus bosses. Plus, two of them push enemies back, so against bosses, it's actually pretty useful. But that's it. It's pretty much it. He's going to be a bit slower to take out bosses, but he's pretty reliable for it, so we're going to put him there and leave him there. Okay, Zomari. Zomari got doomed, unfortunately. He has Bruiser and Berserker, no Flurry, no Frenzy, no Bombardment, has Long Stride, has multiple Flash Steps. Would be a really fast character if his attacks did anything, but they don't, so we're going to put him under here. Not even his link is redeemable. It's, I think, normal attack damage up. Yeah, it's normal attack damage up and slow reduction, which, not great. So, that's as far as he goes. Okay, next up we have Tenza Zangetsu. I love this character. Super fun character to use. Great range on strong attacks. They hit really hard. He's got Berserker at 20%. He's got Frenzy. He's got a strong tech recharge link and a stamina recovery link, making him a useful link. Though there are obviously better links, he's pretty useful for autoing when you're using a strong tech recharge character. And the character himself is one of the better characters on this list for PvE, and he holds up extraordinarily well even by today's standards. So yeah, definitely a solid character. I would also put him under clear time. Maybe not the fastest even by today's standards, but honestly, he can do a pretty good job. Pretty good range. So it's a pretty good place to put him. Okay, yeah, next up we have Yoruichi. I love this Yoruichi. One of the most fun Yoruichis to use. Doesn't have an amazing range on strong attacks, but they're still really, really good, especially for this character. She does have Havoc at 30, shotgun shot, strong attack 3. It's the best way I can describe it. It's not really a beam shot, but it's kind of a cross between a beam shot and a full screen, kinda. It's really weird. Strong attack 2 is good range. From strong attack 1's got good range. She's also got multiple flash steps because she's a Yoruichi, and because she came out before the Lost Asian Soy Phone, she has long stride, making her a pretty fast character. Very, very good for damage. She's got Berserker at 20% now, I believe, and she's got a strong attack damage link of 25%. So strong attacks actually deal heavy damage. She's definitely going to be good in PvE, even by today's standards. And yeah, I think that's... yeah, she's just a really fast character, really good for PvE. Link-wise, she could have gotten a better secondary link. I believe it's Poison Reduction. Yeah, Poison Reduction, but it's not that great. So yeah, we're just going to leave her in PvE. Okay, in that banner with Tenza and Yoruichi also came White. Unfortunately, full hollow White here. Got the short end of the stick. He's got an Espada Killer. Good range on a strong attack, actually. He's got pretty good range on a strong attack. Unfortunately, they gave him Bombardment, and that was kind of a doomed to fail moment. They also gave him a 30% damage, low stamina damage link, which only takes effect when he's like at below 30% of his health. I believe it's 30% of his health. Either that or it's below 25%. Either way, only when that happens does the strong attacks and normal attacks actually deal decent damage, and even then he doesn't have Flurry or Frenzy. He's got Berserker at 50% and Bruiser at 40%. You can make him a decent character with high enough stats. I know I've tried, but it's honestly not worth it, just because of he just doesn't have Flurry or Frenzy. I'm sorry, and he's got a bad killer. I really wish they could fix this character or give us a way to fix this character, but unless you're willing to pour in a bunch of stuff to make his stats better, it's just not going to happen. That said, his link can come in handy. Like I said, low stamina damage. He also has last ditch survival at 80%, so he comes back. Under the right build, you can probably get a good link out of him. In fact, I'm going to put him right here next to Konami, in the fact that it's a good link, but kind of situational. And you're probably not going to use it, but when you do, it'll be useful. Okay, next up we have Gin. Everybody loves this Gin. Everybody loved this Gin when it first came out anyway. Really high SP, strong attack damage link. Bruiser at 40% now, which is nice. Havoc at 20, making a strong attack 3 beyond full screen. good range on the other 2 strong attacks with the lunge move strong attack 1 and a beam shot strong attack 2, though even though he has Havoc at 20, this beam shot is on the lower range scale. It's not, crazy range like some of the newer ones we have, or even some of the older ones we have. It's just kind of in the middle. Still, he's a really, really good character for PvE, though, there we go, though not much else. He does inflict debilitating poison on all of his attacks, just like Aroniero, but Aroniero has a bit more going for him in that his is a higher likelihood of inflicting it, and it pushes enemies back, whereas Gin is kind of his attacks hit a neutral amount of times, and while they are debilitating, it's not as frequent as Aroniero, so I'm only going to put him in PvE and not really versus bosses. I might actually also put him right next to Tenza here for there we go, for clearing time, because he actually has really good range on his strong attacks, and that'll definitely help clear time a little bit faster. That's where we're going to leave him. Though he doesn't have a strong tech recharge link, but still he's on the lower end of that. Okay, next up we have Retsu. This mind version of Retsu is actually pretty impressive, especially after she got resurrected, or I guess only when she got resurrected. She does have an Espada killer, which is very, very unfortunate, but she has a strong tech recharge link and a full stamina damage secondary link of 16%. On top of that, she's also got Berserker at 30% and Frenzy. So at full stamina, which is very likely because her strong tech 2 is a heal move, she can actually deal some heavy, heavy damage with 46% up before Frenzy. Not to mention her strong attack 3 is a radial strong attack that hits for a massive amount of damage at close range, and because her strong attack 1 and her special and her normal attack can all inflict debilitating paralysis, this is actually very likely, making her actually pretty useful in PvE, believe it or not. Even though she does have an Espada killer, you're gonna have to pick your battles, because if something is really, really hard and it relies on killer multiplication, she may not be able to do it. But she can, she can hold her own. She's also a pretty good support character. Like I said, she's got a strong attack recharge link, and her strong attack 2 is a heal move. But yeah, she's honestly kind of impressive and a really, really good link. So we're also gonna put that down here. There we go. Given the circumstances, like given the proper setup and knowing what you're doing, she can actually be pretty good against bosses, especially if you paralyze them with a strong attack 1, which is very, very likely, and then hit them hard with your strong attack 3. Plus, she can heal after every boss, so I'm going to put her on the lower end of that. But you're going to have to actually set stuff up to be able to get away with it. So yeah. Okay, next up we have Jushiro. I absolutely love this Jushiro strong attacks. They are very, very fun. They all have pretty good range. None of them are full screen, but it does have Havoc at 30. And like I said, decent range. Unfortunately, they gave him Bombardment, which kind of doomed him to fail. He has Berserker at 50%, Bruiser at 40%, a boosted damage reduction soul trait of 20%, and weakened reductions for a secondary link. Honestly, he's just good as a link, and even then, it's only because his damage reduction is boosted to 20%. The secondary link is not that useful, but can be useful in PvE because it's weakening reduction. So we're going to put him in links, really only for PvE. I really wish this character was better because he's a lot of fun, but sadly he's not. Okay, next up we have the Swimsuit Nui. I love this character. Everybody loves this character. My channel has a cult following for this character. Thank you, Gecko. This character is actually really fun. Really good now. She's got Frenzy, Bruiser at, I believe, 30%. Yeah, Bruiser at 30%. She's got Frenzy, decent range on strong attacks. Her strong attack 2 is a heal move. She's also got a healing link of 20% after every area, and a strong attack damage link of 16%. So strong attacks actually deal a decent amount of damage. Plus, her special inflicts burn. So there's also that. As a link, there are better options. I'm going to put it on the lower end as well, just because ideally you would want strong attack recharge link, strong attack damage link to pair with strong attack recharge link, or something along those lines. But she's got strong attack damage and stamina recovery, so it could be useful in the right situation, but not as useful as the ones up here. Still, she's a really, really good character to use on her own, so I'm going to put her up here in PvE. I'm also going to put her under support, because she's a very, very good support character. Doesn't necessarily have to heal herself, because she knows, or I guess you would know, she would heal upon every area, so you can actually use your heal move to heal people. So we're going to put her under support. She can also be used to take out bosses because she can heal, though it's going to be a bit slower, so I'm not going to put her there. It's going to be a bit slower because really the only thing she's got going for her is that she can heal after every boss, so we're just going to leave her under support. Still, solid character, and honestly, I've kind of been ignoring this section. She's actually a decent autoer because she can heal herself, and because in 2 different ways, and because her normal attacks actually deal decent damage with Bruiser at 30% and decent enough attack stat. You can actually use her to auto, though she's not going to be as useful as Noitaro, so we're going to put her on the lesser end here. But for the longest time, I did use her to auto a decent chunk of Inheritance Zone, so I'm going to put her there. But yeah, next up we have Noelle. I love this Noelle. Everybody loves this Noelle. This Noelle's got one of the best links in the entire game, similar to Rose down there. She's got a 14% strong attack recharge and 16% strong attack damage. One of the best links in the entire game. She's also incredibly fun and very, very useful even by today's standards. We're going to put her right here. We're gonna, oh man, I'm running into that error or that problem again where these are starting to pile up. There we go. Make her small. This will be the last guild utility guide I do. Utility guide I do where it's this many characters. I'm gonna start trying to do like 4 to 6 banners at a time, as opposed to what I'm doing here. So I won't have this problem anymore, and the video will be shorter. But anyway, I digress. This Noelle is, like I said, really, really good. Good range on strong attack, havoc at 30. She's also a pretty decent crowd control character, believe it or not. I should not have made her this tiny. Oh well. She's also a pretty good crowd control character because her strong attack 2 is a vortex move and it has the chance of inflicting burn. It also has pretty decent amount of iframes, immortality frames, or invincibility frames, where she's kind of immune to damage while she's using her vortex move. They kind of try to fix this, and they did for a little bit, but it's still kind of there, so we're going to put her under versus bosses again, though just like Retsu, it's really only one thing about her that makes her really, really good, and that's her strong attack 2. Since it can inflict burn, so we're gonna put her under. Well, really, nah, we're not gonna put her under versus bosses. We're gonna take her away for that. She is a really good PvE character, though, really good link and really good for crowd control. But that's where we're gonna leave this character. Okay, in that same banner that we got these amazing characters of Noelle and Nemu, we also got Ryruka. But Ryruka, Ryruka got bombardment. Ryruka's not good. We're going to put her down here. She's got a normal attack damage link, but her secondary link is not great. It's only freeze reduction at 55%. She's also got a captain killer. While she does have a really high attack, she's only got bruiser at 40%. And yeah, that's not enough. So we're going to leave her under orbs only. Though she does have a really killer special. Like I said, bombardment and weakened defense. It hits hard, but that's all she's got going for her. Alright, next up we have Apache. Apache, unfortunately, did not get a high enough bruiser when she got resurrected. Her whole thing was always attack. She's actually got a pretty decent attack, but with a bruiser at 30% and a normal attack damage link of 20% being the only things that she's got going for her, it's not good. It's really not good. So we're going to put her under orbs only. Her secondary link is not good either. I think it's slow reduction, so it's just not good. Sun, though, is actually pretty good. Great range and strong attacks. They can all inflict debilitating poison now. They used to just inflict poison. Now they can inflict debilitating poison. And her strong attack 2 is a vortex move, very likely to do it. Her strong attack 3 is a shave shot move that pushes enemies back. It's extremely likely to inflict poison. It's also one of the best damaging attacks for an older character. It hits for a really high amount of damage if you line it up correctly, and it's pretty easy to line it up correctly. Plus, she's got Berserker at 20% and a boosted strong attack damage link of 25%. She's actually a pretty impressive character. We're going to put her in PvE. There we go, in PvE. And I really should have made this bigger before I did this, but oh well. She's also a pretty good boss killer because she's very likely to inflict poison, and because it's very easy to keep enemies away from her during the run. So yeah, she's honestly pretty decent character. Next we have Mila Rose. Mila Rose is a very, very fun character. Built as a hybrid character. She's got a decent attack stat, decent SP stat. She's got Bruiser at 40%, Berserker at 20%. She's got Frenzy, a strong attack recharge link, a damage reduction link. Great range on strong attacks. Her strong attack 2 can inflict debilitating paralysis, so can her special. Honestly, if you have this character, use her. She's fun. Even if you don't want to use her continuously, she's a very, very fun character. Definitely usable by today's standards. Her range is very dated. You can tell she's an older character, but she's still very, very fun. And she's a pretty good link. A very odd link, damage reduction and strong attack recharge, but, you know, I'm going to put it actually down here because it's kind of situational again. You're probably not going to use it as much as the others, but it's fun. It's a fun link. But yeah, finally we have this Ichigo, the 2nd anniversary version of Ichigo, one of the best resurrected characters we've gotten so far. Really high SP, Berserker at 20%, boosted strong attack damage link of 25% and a strong attack recharge link of 10%, making him one of the best links in the entire game. Put him down here. He's also one of the best, yeah, like I said, resurrected characters. Definitely worth using in PvE. We're just gonna, it's the last character, so we're just gonna cover that. Definitely worth using in PvE. He's got Havoc at 20% when he got resurrected, and that makes his strong attack 3 beyond full screen when fully charged, which good, because it does a colossal amount of damage. Let's see here. I think it was also the only, for the longest time, it was the only charge move strong attack 3 that was full screen before Havoc. Which is actually pretty impressive, and it's one of the better reaching, or the wider. I think it's the charge move that has the best reach in the entire game, which is impressive. He's also got a good range on the other 2 strong attacks. Like I said, really good link. Sprinter at 2. He's just a very good character. I would put him. I would put him at clear time as well, but the charge move, in order to be beyond full screen, does have to be charged, and that takes a while. So we're gonna put him under PvE only. I am going to put him under versus bosses though, because he is actually a pretty good character to take against bosses, since his extra flash steps makes it easier for him to dodge specials, and his boosted, his strong attack 3 can inflict heavy damage to the point where it's like you're using a special every 12 seconds or so. So yeah, so we're going to put him under versus bosses as well. But yeah, I think that let me look over everything. Hopefully I didn't miss anything on anyone. But yeah, that marks the end of year 2. Year 3 is when things start to pick up a bit more. Like I said, going forward, I'm gonna make these like 4 to 6 banners instead of what I'm doing right now, which is covering like half a year to a quarter of a year per video. That'll make the video shorter. It'll also make it not as clustered as it looks. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of the series. Do hit like if you're enjoying this. I'm also gonna put Ichigo in Arena, because to a point he's actually pretty good in it. Maybe not the best, but he could hold up. But yeah, that's it. That's where I'm leaving this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, if you're enjoying the series, do hit like. Yeah, have a great day. Take care.